Have you ever wondered just how much wealth you need to have to be in the top 1%? I've done the research, and in this video I'm going to share the average net worth figures for US households for the top 10% and the top 1% based on data from the Federal Reserve. If you're new to this channel, I'm Matt, I'm a finance consultant. I've spent over 8 years working for one of the top consulting companies in London. I now run my own company, and on this channel I talk all things personal finance. So before we get going, it's worth explaining what net worth is and how it's calculated. It's the calculation of what you own, your assets, minus what you owe, your debts and liabilities. So for example, if you had a $350,000 house, $50,000 in your pension and $10,000 in cash in a bank account, then you would have a total of $410,000 worth of assets. However, for your net worth, you would need to subtract any debts that you had. So if you had a $250,000 mortgage and $2,000 worth of credit card debt, then the total net worth would actually be the $410,000 minus the $252,000, equaling a total net worth of $158,000. You can use an online net worth calculator to help you calculate your own net worth. The key categories of net worth are firstly physical wealth, which includes things like the value of any cars that you own or household possessions such as jewellery, watches, electronics or expensive furniture. Secondly, property wealth, which includes your home or main residence, and then any other properties that you might own such as rental properties or a holiday home. It's the value of these properties minus any mortgage debt. Thirdly is the value of your pension wealth and investments, and fourthly is your financial wealth from things like savings, stocks and shares, and any other financial investments that you might have, minus any financial liabilities like credit card debts or personal loans. Importantly, it's not to be confused with earned income, which is your paycheck or your salary that you earn each month. You could be earning over $100,000 a year, but if you spend it all rather than saving, investing and having assets, then your net worth is going to be zero. So let's start with the net worth for people aged between 18 and 24. For a lot of people at this age, they're either in or finishing college or university, they're just starting their careers, and they've often got large amounts of student debt to pay back. However, surprisingly, we still see the top 10% with net worth of over $184,000. And the top 1% already has around $653,000. For the age group between 25 and 29, who are really at the early part of their career, the top 10% have net worth of almost $297,000, and the top 1% have a staggering amount for their age group at around $2.1 million. In the early 30s age group between 30 and 34, the net worth for the top 10% increases again when compared to the late 20s age group. The net worth is over $538,000, and for the top 1% is around $2.6 million. And then by middle to late 30s, net worth increases much more rapidly, almost doubling by 35 to 39. The net worth for the top 10% is over $864,000, and for the top 1% is $4.7 million. In the late 40s and 50s age groups, again we see big increases in net worth. This is where people's pensions and investments have grown. They've likely owned and held property which is appreciated in value over time, and they might also own businesses which has also contributed to their net worth. It's also the age groups where on average they earn the most amount of money they will do over their lifetime, so they're able to save, invest and grow their wealth at a much faster rate. For the age group between 40 and 44, the net worth for the top 10% is now over $1.1 million, and for the top 1% is around $7.8 million. And then if you go from early 40s to mid to late 50s, the net worth shoots up and doubles. For the age group between 55 and 59, the net worth for the top 10% is now over $2.6 million, and for the top 1% is around $15.3 million. Mind-blowing. And then from mid to late 60s, net wealth peaks and then gradually starts to decline from early to mid 70s when pension and retirement spending is increasing. Often at this point, people start turning their investment strategies from wealth appreciation to wealth preservation to support their retirement plans. For the 65 to 69 age group, the net worth for the top 10% is over $2.9 million, and it peaks for the top 1% at around $22.1 million. And then for the 70 to 74 age group, we then start to see the net worth decline for the top 1% to around $18.7 million. That's still a very nice pension to be living off. If you're thinking, well, I'm nowhere close to these numbers, don't be disheartened. These are heavily skewed by very wealthy households pulling up the average. Think of people like Elon Musk and Michael Jordan and all of the billions of dollars that they own. Looking at the median net worth of people in the US is a more accurate representation for most people. The overall median net worth for US households is just over $192,000. That might help you breathe a little easier. If you're wondering how you can build and increase your own net worth, I'm going to share 5 tips for how you can do this. The first one is on how you manage your income and expenses and stopping the cycle of lifestyle inflation. As you earn more money, you spend more money. Many of the people with large wealth aren't actually the same people that spend lots of money on designer clothes, sports cars, or multiple holidays abroad. If you can do your best to keep your expenses at a similar level or below your means while your income goes up, you'll find you're able to grow your wealth at a much faster rate. One of the things I found really helpful was to have an income and expenses tracker. It helped me to set a goal on where I wanted to get to identify what I could save and invest, and it also helped me to target to reduce the cost of large monthly expenses so I could manage my budget to be within my means each month. Second is to pay off any high interest debts that you have, such as credit card debts, car loans, personal loans, or student debt. It's very difficult to build your savings and your wealth if you have high interest debt. It can often feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck. Your income comes in, you pay your rent, you pay your bills, you pay off any credit card interest, and then at the end of the month you find you haven't got any money left to save and invest. So if you have any high interest debt, make it a priority to pay it off as soon as possible. Start by listing any debts that you have with an interest rate of greater than 7%. And pay off the highest interest rate first. The third point is to save at least 20% of your annual income and to put it into your pension and investments. If you haven't done this already, start by opening a tax-free investment account such as a Roth IRA and maximize any employer match pension benefits like 401k. Fourth is to focus on ways to increase your income so you're able to save more each month. There are a few ways to do this. One way is by investing in yourself to increase your skills so you're more valuable in the job market, either to be able to negotiate a higher salary or to be able to move to a higher paying job. For example, if you're currently a waiter in a restaurant and you manage to save up $500 and you take that money and you pay for a sales course, which enables you to get a sales job paying you more money. If you're then able to add the ability to do marketing on top while you're doing your sales job, then you're now able to run an ad campaign, get customer leads in, and close sales. Your earning potential has just gone up tenfold compared to the pay you were getting as a waiter. Another way to increase your income is to start a side hustle business. There are lots of videos on YouTube and online giving ideas of what you can start from scratch, and many of these don't require lots of startup money to get going with yourself. For example, it could be teaching a short course online about how to edit photos, which you can do on platforms such as Udemy. Have a think about what strengths and skills you already have which could help you to earn some additional money on the side. And the fifth and final point is to invest with a long-term mindset. The trend for most people is that net worth increases as you get older, and it's essential to be as consistent as you can with your investments so that compound interest can do its job in helping your money grow over the long term. If someone who is 30 were to invest $500 per month over a 35-year period, assuming an average annual rate of return of 8%, they would have just over $1 million by 65. That's pretty good going. The earlier you can save and invest, the more benefit you can get from compounding your investments. The other part to this is acquiring assets which grow in value over the long term. If you look at some of the wealthiest people in the world, people like Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, their wealth is not based on having cash in the bank, it's based on the value of the assets they own. They've acquired assets such as businesses or property, and their wealth grows from the equity value increasing and also from the assets generating income. And that income is then reinvested in buying more assets, and that cycle keeps compounding, growing the size and value of their assets and wealth. So these are my top 5 tips for helping you grow your net worth and wealth. I hope this video has been helpful. Feel free to leave any questions in the comments and give the video a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.